better title for this is mining for gems. In my eyes, this is one of the biggest things you can do when you're trying to figure out who am I and what am I able to do? Where do I stand out? What is my business what is it about me that makes me unique and what I bring my business? So that is the biggest thing that I can talk to you about. Now, how many of you feel like you already know what your market dominating position is, that you already know why you're unique and what makes things different for you? Yes, maybe put it in the chat. Yes, I know. You do. Okay, awesome. Perfect. I really don't know at this point. Okay, well, actually, I think what this will do today will actually help with that in a lot of ways. So keep staying with me. So the very first thing that I want to do is, first and foremost, we want to talk about what is the core product or service that your business offers. And if it's more than one, okay, do you have two core products? But just say which one is most important. What is it that you offer? Photography services. And do you have a specialty that you would say, Alex? I have more. Okay, started with weddings. Yep. Okay, that's great. Perfect. At least you have some ideas of what makes you different, which is great. But after I did product, architecture, and others. Okay. My background, really quick, is I've been an entrepreneur for over 35 years, and at least 32 years of that has been as a small business owner. And what I consider small business owner is anything under 3.5 million, because generally when you get to that point, things are going to really change in your business structure. So you can imagine how different it is for your business that ranges from $0 all the way up to past $1 million. But that is what makes up over 90% globally of business. So here, I basically have switched over in the last 5 years to coach, to educate, and also authored some books. So I'm really excited to come and do these lunch and learns every month to just show you some things that you can do to grow your business. First and foremost, I want to start with a story. And this one has sat with me for a very long time. It's an excerpt out of the book of Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell. And so I'm going to put it on the screen so that you can read along with me. Some of you love to listen. Some people love to read, right? So, or visual. So here, I'm going to go ahead and read it. During the years when diamonds were first being discovered in Africa, a farmer was intrigued by the promise of great wealth. Only one thing stood in his way. His farm had to be sold before he could set off in search of diamonds that would make him a wealthy man. At last, the deal was done, and he was free to pursue his dream. The search was long and painful, trekking mile after weary mile across deserts and plains, through jungles and mountain passes. The farmer searched for the elusive diamonds, but none could be found. So penniless, sick, and utterly depressed, he took his own life by throwing himself into a raging river. Back home, the man who bought the farm carefully tilled the land. One day, as he was planting a crop, he came across a strange-looking stone. Carrying it from the farmhouse, he placed it onto the mantle. A visitor to the farmer's home saw the unusual stone over the fireplace, examined it, and then turned to the new owner of the farm and said, "You have found one of the largest diamonds ever known to man." Further investigation revealed that the entire farm was literally covered with magnificent similar stones. Oops, hold on. The farm sold by the first farmer turned out to be one of the richest, most productive diamond mines in the world. It's incredible. what does this mean to you? Well, he had an excerpt out of the book that I thought was very telling. Just like the farmer, too few of us take the time to investigate and polish what we really have. In our disappointment with the way things are, or in our quest to get ahead, we fail to recognize the wealth in our own backyard. And we end up walking over untold riches every day. So, what does that mean to you? The moral of that story. When I first heard this story, it hit home for me because of so many things that I just pass and would gloss over of what things were important to me that I wasn't actually sharing with other people. So it makes a huge difference. Pretty straightforward. Shouldn't look elsewhere for treasures, just for ways to uncover the ones in me. Well, I'm going to show you how you can actually mine for gems and find out more about you by researching competition today. You are going to find some gems looking at others. What we're going to cover today is about how we're going to uncover gems from other people so that you know what more of your gems are. First and foremost, we're going to cover what every business wants, the formula for effective marketing, what is a market dominating position, and how do you research your competition, as well as your competitor analysis steps, and then what is your deep dive after that. And then we'll just go over briefly what you can expect for next month. Okay? So what does every business want more of? Put it in the chat. What do you think every business would love more of? Besides money, how do you get the money? Opportunities and clients. Yes, absolutely. Customer base. Yes. Yep. And so basically, what does that come from? Recognition. What does that come from? What it comes from is getting more leads. You always want proper clients for my business, right? The leads that will work for your business, that actually are the right kind of leads, right? That become your clients. So that is the most important. But that's always what is elusive to most people. They always are thinking, well, how am I supposed to do that? Well, the basis of this is to know marketing fundamentals. But how many of you, with a show of hands, actually got into business because you know marketing inside and out, and it's like totally your best thing? It was never my thing when I first got into business. I got into business because I loved designing. I loved creating. It was not my intention that I would know everything about marketing, right? So this is why we are going to cover this. There's two things that you need in order to make this happen. What's fundamentally for marketing is a market dominating position, which is knowing what and implementing. It's one thing to know, but it's another thing to actually implement what you are, whether it's online or offline, what makes you unique. So how do you do that for other people? How do they know about it? Then it's one thing to bring them in because they know who you are, but it's a whole other thing to have a compelling offer to actually make the sale. So those are why there's two components. Does that make sense? So the offer has to be irresistible so that they, can't help but want to purchase from you. So you can be really good at bringing the leads in, but you might not be as good at closing the sale. Or the opposite might be true, which for me I was always great at making the sale. I just needed ways to be able to bring people in. And those types of things make it very different. So today we're talking mainly around market dominating position. And so there's steps that you get to do when you look at market dominating position. And I can't cover all of them, but I'm going to give you the highlights here. And we're going to dive into one of them. Okay. The first step you do is you always analyze your prospects and your ideal clients. So for instance, about 10 or 15 years ago is really cool to create your ideal client. And you had to put a name to her, tell her what her age was, what did she drive, how did she dress. It was all this big deal. And you just had this one vision of this person. But it so doesn't work because you have different parts of your business where it's going to attract different types of people. So you actually may have somebody that is young and ready to buy something that is quick that you offer, or you may have another offer that you product or service that you put out there that is something that's more of a project or long term, and it may attract corporate kind of people, right? So the idea is you get to analyze what types of clients would be your best clients. That's the first step that you do when you're looking at market dominating position. The second step is analyzing your competitors. So, and that's a step that most people are kind of like, I want to skip that step, right? It doesn't always feel good to analyze your competitors, but then there's step 3. Then you sit and you analyze the products and the services that you offer. And all of that is based on what you found out about your ideal client and what you found out about from your competitors. But step 4 is then putting all of that together. That's what I work with my clients when we do this. We actually put all of these together, and that's how we create what makes you unique. Where are the gaps in the marketplace that actually what you fulfill is amazing, and where people are wanting it, so that they're going to be the ones that they buy from. Okay. But today we're just picking one section of it, and we're going into analyzing your competitors. And why did I choose this one out of all 4 steps? Because nobody likes to do it. It feels uncomfortable. Although I can tell you that if you're in retail floristry, even, or even if you do weddings, let's say, you've gone and checked out your competitors. You just probably don't want to acknowledge it. So, but it's okay to do it. And I'm going to show you why and how it works. Okay. So the researching your competition is so important because, again, what makes this balloon stand out? It's got another balloon attached to it. It's different. It's unique. That's what's going to be what you do. So what do you do that? You've got to find the advantage over your competitors. It's not just about looking at their prices. You have to know what they're offering and how they communicate. That's what makes it different. So when you're doing that, there's 2 things that this does for you. It helps you know what to do, and it also shows you where the gaps are in the marketplace for what you're offering. And I can't tell you enough that knowing where the gap is and measuring that with your product or service is truly the secret sauce to getting more leads. Part of this is doing a competitor analysis. And I am going to be sending out a worksheet that you can have that has all of these on it. And in the worksheet, basically the first part is about analyzing competitors. What I'd love for you to do when you get the worksheet is to actually take 3 of them. I want you to analyze 3 competitors that are local to you. And then the 4th one, I want you to analyze a competitor. Well, it might not be a competitor because it might be someone else in your market, in your industry that you look up to and you actually like what they do. I want you to analyze their business too. There's several things that you do in the competitor analysis. The first one is primary marketing promise, a delivery mechanism, general marketing claims, proof points, benefit statements, features and deliverables, price and terms, and any guarantees that they have. And then there's bonuses and extras. Do you see where price comes into play? way down the list. It's not even one of the first things. Let's dig into it. The first one is a primary marketing promise. Okay, so what is the main promise that your competitor is making to their prospect about their product or service? Is it speed? Is it efficiency? Could it be that they're, have a special thing that they do with the way they interact with their clients? Is it the results that they give? Is it the ease that they provide? For example, one was a same-day delivery service with Smile and beautiful flowers every time. Okay, but think about this. What I've done with each one of these is giving you an example in real time so that you can see how it actually plays out. For this one, it was Winston Flowers in Greenwich. And theirs at the bottom, I found in theirs was, our team shares a singular goal: to take care of your precious moments as if they were our own. That's the primary marketing promise that they're offering to people that do business with them. See how it's overarching and it gives them something? Each one of these, I want you to think to yourself, do I already have something like this? Do I actually say anything about what I do like this? Is it on my website? Is it in part of my marketing? So I want you to think about these. The next one would be delivery mechanism. And this one can be one that gives people a little bit of trouble. But I want you to think about, how do they go about delivering on their promise? What's unique about what they're delivering, how they're doing it, that no other product or service is in their category? And they're claiming it delivers that benefit. Now, they may say that they deliver emotions through flower delivery. Or let's say you're a nutritional supplement, right? And you have a special ingredient that you use that no one else is using in that niche. And that's what gives them their edge. That's what makes their delivery mechanism unique. Does anybody have any questions about that? I wanted to show you one of the things here is a day spa, okay? Their unique delivery mechanism is their dedicated therapists. Their team of dedicated therapists are eager to help you achieve peace of mind in a serene atmosphere. The treatment's tailor-made to your needs and desires. So for them, it's their dedicated therapists. Have you thought about what is your delivery mechanism? Once you kind of know what it is that makes the way you deliver the product, what is it that makes you unique? Quality of services, okay. That's where I get stuck usually, yep. And that is not uncommon, Diana. And here's the thing, it's going to be sometimes something that if you actually look around you at your competition, most people don't talk about this, but when you do, it makes you stand out. So you mean the photography quality? Okay, yes. The quality of the photos that you create, of the way you take it, the way you deliver it. So you get to expound on it more, right? So that they can see what you're saying. Perfect. So this is where you want to go and search out your competition to see, what are they saying? Are they even talking about this? So the next one is general marketing claims. And this is the one that you'll probably see a lot, right? What are they saying about their product or service? Are they claiming that they do the same day service? Are they claiming that the product will last a certain amount of time? Is that they design a certain style, that they're expensive? Some of your competitors can make the same claims, and that's okay. But here's where it makes it different. And I'm going to show you how this can make it different, because you can be doing, like Alex, somebody may say, my photography quality is fantastic too. But it could be that you're pulling out something else. For instance, Jersey Mike Subs is a local, brand here. And they have freshly sliced right in front of you. So it's deli sliced meats right in front of you. And most often, when you go into a deli or here in the States, some of them are just going to be pulling up meat that's already been prepackaged or whatever, and it's already just ready to go. But they're like legit delis. They're actually slicing it right when you order. However, they don't talk about it. So what I'm going to do is show you really quick here.
At Jersey Mike's, you're gonna see him freshly slice your sub right in front of you. Look at that turkey. Look at that cologne. Yep, there's some things you just gotta see. Like those lovebirds over there. Or this guy, pulling off business and casual. Bizazzual. Or me, about to steal half of this guy's sub. Huh? You better eat it fast, because I'm coming. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
So what they did was took a common thing that you would almost expect. I thought it was brilliant. It was like, oh my gosh. But then they called it freshly sliced. So they actually just made it even more, like, okay, gosh, yeah, you know what? I got to go to Jersey Mike's today, right? Because they were able to attach something that is a general marketing claim, but no one else was actually talking about it. It was a huge thing for them, and it changed all kinds of stuff as far as their marketing goes. What about you, Alex? Like within your business, I'm sure that there are other photographers talking about something, but is there general things that you all do that maybe they're not mentioning that you could? And that's where you start to see the gaps. So you start looking at them and going, okay, what is somebody else doing? This is what they're saying. Oh, you know what? They're not even saying anything like that. Then you get to mark that down. Nope, they're not even making any marketing claims. That's where you see a gap. So the next thing would be proof points. And we all know what those are, but you probably haven't ever thought of them in this way. It means, what proof are they offering about the claims that they have? Like, are they good at what they do? Are they using testimonials? Or do they do case studies? Or are they endorsed by certain things? Do they show statistics, right? So that looks like this on some sites, right? You see testimonials come in. You see that, this particular event florist was really amazing at what they did. And they won awards for all the different types of things that they worked on. This is the kind of thing that when you go to the website, like, are they actually talking about this stuff? Am I talking about this stuff? Because when clients are trying to decide, do I want to work with this person? They're looking for these types of things. So most often you're going to find proof points of some point or another on someone's website. Just like the prices, you'll almost always find a proof point and prices. Next would be benefit statements. And here I want you to think about this. There's a difference between benefits and features. So benefit statements are the claims that you make about their product. So what will it mean to me? And it's generally more of an emotional thing. It means, that okay, if I do this, if I buy this, will it save me time? Will it bring joy to me? Will it create something that I haven't had already? And it's able to give me satisfaction. Yes, if you make a brand promise, the testament, yes, that's so true, Alex. And so that's part of the testimonials are what back it up. And that's when you are making your general claims too. And your primary promise is like your brand promise. Same thing, they go together. And the benefits, people will often start thinking of the benefits as features. And we're going to look at features in a minute, but I want you to think more about benefits more on an emotional level. So for instance, again, I had this with the retreat. The retreat offers a variety of treatments to nurture your body and soul and transform your image and well-being. So the retreat here, this day spa, is not saying anything about what is actually happening. They're talking about how you're going to feel. That's what makes it more of a benefit. So each service is thoughtfully designed to ensure effective professional results. Again, that has nothing to do with what they're doing. Are you getting a body massage? Are you getting a stone massage? Are you getting a facial done? It's not talking about any features. Then you are sure to enjoy the personal attention to detail throughout your entire visit. Again, personal attention to detail. See how they're talking about that? And then you can catch your breath, relax, and escape the stresses of life at the retreat. You can do this in so many different ways. Is this starting to bring ideas to you all as far as what things are you doing personally? Because it can make a difference in your marketing and getting those leads. The next one would be features and deliverables. What are they actually delivering to or for the prospect? So here's the features. What comes with the offer or the purchase? Is it flowers for your wedding, flowers for your birthday, or you get a personal delivery of balloons, right? So this time what I did is I chose a photographer. And let's say he's offering a headshot session. This is photography by Asa. And when I went to his website, I was looking, okay, he had an additional, it tells you additional people are going to cost more. They get a discount if there's 5 or more people. Each session gives 5 to 10 proofing images, and they get to choose between one finished image, and all the Photoshop editing is included in commercial use. But they're telling you, although parking fees, their tolls and travel is always going to be added. But if it's beyond 30 minutes, see how they're telling you about what is included. So these are the features of buying a headshot session from Asa. Make sense? So when you look at this, there's also the price and terms and guarantees. So what are the prices and terms that they offer? This is when we finally get to the prices. It has nothing to do, you can see there's so much more to analyzing competition than just the price. That's really what I want you to understand, and what kind of terms do they offer? Or if they're going to offer any guarantees, or do they even have a guarantee at all? Are they selling high? Is it low? Is there an average price point? Are there terms? Do they have a payment plan? And what kind of guarantees are they saying to you? Because here, this time I went to like a furniture store and I started to look through what theirs were. And I found it really interesting because they have, for instance, the lowest price guarantee. They have the reselecting and return policy. They have a mattress happiness sleep guarantee. They have a no hassle delivery and assembly. They offer customer pickup and 1-year warranty. The whole reason why I'm showing you this is that you can always look to other industries to get ideas, to think about how could this apply to my own business? Does this make some aha moments come out for you that maybe you haven't really been kind of dialing in on what it is? These are the things that make you different, right? These are the things that make your competition different. But if they're not talking about it, people aren't maybe even buying from them as much as you think. So if you go on, we have one more left, and it's bonuses or extras. So what are the bonuses or extras that they're offering? How many bonuses or premiums are they offering? And what is the value of the bonuses or premiums? What does that look like? Well, I went and looked at Sephora, which is a huge cosmetic company here in the States. Okay. And they offer all kinds of rewards and things if you become like a member of their, a buyer that comes in and buys often. So they offer loyalty points. They offer birthday gifts. They offer customized beauty consultations, exclusive events, free samples, tiered rewards, product bundles, and online promotions. which ones do you think you could implement in your type of business? Do you offer something? Do you recognize somebody, your past clients? One of the things that I think of often is people might say, I have customers, and somebody else says clients. What's the difference between a customer and a client? A customer is generally your one-time purchase. A client is somebody that comes back to you again and again and again. They become a regular person that does business with you. What having bonuses or extras or things like that are the way that you can actually have someone become a client instead of just a one-time customer. And I know I would do this when I would have weddings, with couples, right? I stayed in touch with them because I didn't want them to be a one-time customer. After I did their wedding, I was following up and talking about everything else that was going on in their life. I became their florist for everything because I treated them like a client and not a customer. Again, my whole idea around this for you is to start to see how there's a difference when you just look into other industries, how you can learn from them in such a major way. So now what you do, especially when you get back to the worksheet that I'm going to give you, it's your turn. You get to take this after you do the competitive analysis with those other companies. You get to come back and say, okay, what's the next step? Which there's a part 2. You get to take action. I am an action taker. If you don't take action in your business, things aren't going to get done. And you're going to be in the same place that you were 6 months or a year from now. So what does that look like? There's 4 questions I want you to think of. And these are going to be on your worksheet as well. Question number 1 is, what advantages do you offer that makes you exceptional in the eyes of the marketplace? So I want you to try to list at least 3. Oh my gosh, I can't get it out. So if you already know, if something's already coming to mind, go ahead and put it in the chat. No idea at this point. And that's okay. That's okay. That's totally why we do this exercise. Okay. Listing benefits. Awesome. That's great. The next one would be question number 2 is, what benefits do you offer that might be the same as your competitors, but that they aren't communicating at all? Do you remember back to the Jersey subs analogy where freshly sliced is something that most great delis would be doing, but yet nobody was talking about it? So they created their marketing around it. Question number 3. So what are your competitors' biggest weaknesses or shortcomings? And again, I would have you list out 3. You're going to get this on the worksheet. This is why you do that analysis, because where you see the shortcomings or weaknesses means there's more of a gap. And that's how you can figure out where you stand out differently. Because in your mind, you might have a thing that says, this is why I stand out. But is that what your prospects actually know about you? So it's going to be important that you're conveying that. The last question is, where do you think is the biggest area of opportunity for you when you're thinking about your market dominating position compared to your competitors? Now, I know that's a lot, but that's what I meant by, this is only one part of market dominating position, but it's a big part that most florists don't like to talk about. So I want you to think about this. How are you going to make time to invest in setting yourself apart? And you can unmute if you want to talk, or if you want to ask questions or get some clarifications on things that we brought up today. Feel free to do that. First and foremost, how are you going to make time to set yourself apart? How are you going to make time to do this competitive analysis? Do you think you could do it in the next week?
Hi, I'm sorry. I did drive listening to this, and it was eye-opening because I don't think that I have benefits listed, and just looking at the ones with industries that don't even belong to our industry, how simple it's listed on there, and people will look like, oh, this is so great. I'm more of like a personal florist, and I think there's a big confusion in that right now, which is probably why I'm struggling. I am not shy, but I'm reserved. So I think I'm not utilizing social media the way that I can. And I don't think that my competitors are using it either. So that would be like a kind of like a little step up if I can work up that nerve to just do the videos.
Yes.
So just even tweaking those things, like putting in the benefits or what separates me from how I do business and how other florists do business. So it was literally eye-opening. It was like, look at it at a different way.
Well, and you get to decide that, you know what, if they're not talking about it, and I will tell you when I've done this before, and I do this with all my clients too. So I've seen different industries, and what you'll find is that you go to fill this paper out and you're like, oh my gosh, they don't even offer any kind of promise. They don't even have a brand promise to them. Oh, well, you know what? They're not even talking about any kind of delivery mechanism. What makes
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think I have. So it's like
so,
I'm probably right in line. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's
but
like,
then you're
ooh,
like, that's what I'm saying. Your competition isn't doing anything like this.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's how you get to figure out what sets you apart, because we have an idea in our mind, and probably you've said it too. You're like, I already know what sets me apart, but how are you
All the time.
communicating it?
I'm not.
Yeah.
So hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that little moment, you know?
Yes. So you get the opportunity to communicate this now, and you know a little bit more about how to communicate it. So that's,
Effectively. Yeah,
yes,
effectively.
yes. And there is another part of this too, and I call it the conversion equation. And I probably will do one lunch and learn just on that. But the four things about the conversion equation are: you always want to have an interrupt. You always want to then engage your prospect. Then you can educate, and then you can provide an offer. Most people are, because your buyers are on a journey, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Most people are, this is like most aware, and then they think 1% are right now buyers. They already are assuming people are ready to buy from you as soon as they hit your website or they come to your Instagram page or anything like that. What they're
Right.
realizing is that people are shopping. People don't even know that they need you yet. People are looking around, and and when they do that, all they're looking at is price. So unless you tell them something else and more about you and what makes you unique, then that's when it starts to hone in as, oh my gosh, this is why I have to go to this place. It's
Right, right.
And if you look at your competitors like IG, especially in the floral industry, or those
Mm-hmm,
that do events, or I would
mm-hmm,
even say retail, all they're
mm-hmm.
showing is like, here's the beautiful arrangement we did today.
That's it. That's what I do.
Or here's our wedding we just did last week. Don't you love it? Don't you love the color palette?
I try to give it a story and a caption, but no one reads that.
Right.
No one reads that. That's like, all right. And it's just a whole other making. But yeah,
Yes.
those are things to look at, different ways to communicate.
So
Thank you.
they may scroll really fast, through pictures. They may love the pictures, but they're also going to read whatever you put in your image. They're going to love
Right.
carousels because they're going to swipe, and they're going to
Mm-hmm.
finish through the carousel. So don't be afraid to type any kind of copy on your images so that people can start to realize something different about you. You're going to stand out in the sea of sameness. So
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Oh, time to do this content stuff.
but you'll get the worksheet from me. I think
Mhm.
it goes out this afternoon, but you'll get the worksheet so that
Thank
you can
you.
do it yourself. And I highly recommend that first page, the first 2 pages, you print several copies and you just do this to your competitors first so that you can start to see, oh my gosh, okay, they're not doing it either. Guess what? I get to do it now. I get to talk.
Right. This is what'll make me shine. All
Yeah,
right, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate
sure,
it.
sure.
Like I always kind of come back in a circle of how should I put this? Like you're saying about the competition, but I'm not. I don't really know how to find a competition for me right now. And I don't mean it to sound like you know what I mean.
Mhm.
I'm not sounding because yeah, I work with. I mean, I am a florist, but I'm not.
Well,
You know
you're
what I
a
mean? It's so
freelancer. You're a freelancer
I'm yeah,
in
I
some
am
ways, but you're also a
so
creative.
yeah. I'm so all over the place and doing so specifically unique things that are not that I don't know how to grab them and pass them on. It's always coming back in a circle for me.
So what is it that I want you to think about this because yes, you do many different things, but they're all geared towards around something. And it is being creative in writing. It's being creative in what you do with your design work. It's being creative with managing. Do you see like you're
Yeah, I know.
in that
I know.
field?
Yeah.
And if
I
what are the benefits of someone hiring you? I know you can write that down. I
yeah,
know
I
that you
can.
can
I
also
can.
think about the features that you provide people if they were to hire you in certain ways. Because, and here's the thing, you're jack of all trades, and I would say master of none does not apply to you. What I would say is that you have so many wonderful things and qualities that you have. No problem, Jen. So what you can do is you can put this into this particular section, right? And you're saying, okay, this is how I do when I'm doing this particular type of project. If you were to hire me, this is what you can expect. If you were to hire me for this type of thing, this is what you can expect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So if you could actually kind of extract out and make up your different offers based on who you're talking to or what type of project, and that's why the very
Yes.
first step is, to look at ideal clients, right? But then the third step before you actually create what your marketing dominating position is looking at what you offer. So maybe for
Yeah.
you, it might be what do I offer? What do I have to offer everyone? And then go back and say, is there anyone else doing that in each one of these categories? There are.
Yeah, they are. I know.
Right. So then you go and then say, okay, well, who are my ideal clients for each of the categories? Then you can create a market dominating position because you have it all mapped out. Generally speaking, businesses fail because they don't have a roadmap to follow. There's no strategic thing to go for. So when you have direction, it's so much easier to get something done.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. And I keep going back to the action plan and deleting and rewriting and doing, but it's
But maybe if you just take those 4 steps today to the market dominating position and start extracting out what that is for you, that might be really helpful.
yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. Alex, what about you? You knew I was going to come to you next.
What was the question? Because I'm lost right now. So many information.
Well, how are you going to implement researching some of your competition? How are you going to fit that into your schedule so that you can start finding what makes you different?
I don't know, but I need to take some time and look to my competition and see what we have different, so that I can see where my strengths are and where my weak points are, let's say business wise. But at some point in your presentation, for example, you said that just look at your competition and see what are they not saying about them. The thing is, in my case, is that my competition actually, let's say it country-wise, here in Romania, they are saying too much and delivering too little. And in my case, I'm delivering a lot, but I'm not showing to my clients my projects. I over deliver the most of the time. The quality is much better or much higher than they are expecting it. And the thing is that everyone who worked with me, they said after they worked with me that you're a good guy, a good photographer, everything is spot on or even beyond. But the thing is that I get so not little, the clients are not the contracts are not so many because they don't know me actually. Because if you look me through my Instagram or whatever or social profile, you see so little from my work, and I know so many things, but I didn't put the puzzle together so that I have like a clear roadmap, as you said, to follow. And for example, another thing what I tried to implement is like, for example, a couple hires me to do their weddings, and they said, okay, can we get a discount for our for the baptizing the kid and everything? And I said, okay, let's do it the other way around. You can get it for free, but you need to bring me like 4 clients to sign for a wedding, for example. And everyone was happy, but the thing is that they could not convince the clients or the potential clients to sign with me. And at this point, I don't know if the problem is by me or by them. Because, they said,
You're not getting the opportunity to talk to these referrals, right? They're just
No.
referring them.
No.
So that's the difference. The difference is that the referral has to come from them to you, so that you can actually act on it and say, I'm calling in behalf of whoever those people are. They recommended me to you because I hear that you have a wedding coming up and I do photography. I was their photographer. That's affinity. When you can use affinity to sell, meaning that you have a connection with someone that they know in some shape or form, that always makes the sale more palpable. They're more apt to go with you because they've already know that, oh, well, so-and-so's already talked to you, or we're done work with you, right? So the same thing would happen as well. Is what if it was not a discount, but what if you already had a bundle ready for, what did you say, it was baptisms? Or yeah, what if you already had a bundle that you offer them for the future, and it wasn't free, but it was a special thing that you put together that no other photographer is offering, but it's already something that you offer them as your client, that you want to say, here's the thing, I loved working with you and I would love to work with you again. So here's something special that I give all of my clients, here's a bundle that I make for baptisms. And I would love to, to give this to you for when you're ready. This is something that I'm extending to you. And it's a package.
The thing is, I tried to do something in this direction, but the problem is that weddings and the baptism and everything, they are so different from one from another, because they are not hiring you by the hour, they are hiring you by the event. And some events are like 12 hours long and with 300 people. And some of them, for example, this Saturday I was at a wedding with 1,000 people, and the whole wedding was almost 18 hours long. So,
But the baptism is generally how long?
it depends. It depends, because some of them, they make a baptism with 300 people with it's like, actually it's like a wedding. But some of them, they only want you only at the church, and then they have
So
a
your
small.
package could be just about the church.
Okay.
And see, the other parts are add-ons. But your bundle package is for the church and for family photos immediately, and it includes up to 2 hours, let's say, right? Then, that's your special package. So some people will take you up on that. Other people will say, oh my gosh, well, it looks like we're going to have this as a whole day affair. How much would it be to add on hours? Right? So for that one, weddings are in and of themselves a special breed, right? There's certain things that make it more difficult to do a package. But what I'm saying is, like, things that are smaller, like here, there's a photographer that does a graduation package. And what she does is she does pictures in the fall when school starts, their senior pictures, but she adds on a bundle of, I'm also going to take their graduation photos at, when they graduate in the spring. And it's a bundled package. No other photographer is offering that package at all. So they have nothing to compare it to price. All they compare is value at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So when you make it something that's different than what other people are offering, then you get the opportunity to have people reach out to you, and you're making your packages special for your past customers because you want them as clients.
Yes.
So if it's a wedding, keep your weddings the way you like to do them, but find simpler things, simpler projects that you can create some type of special bundle for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will try to. The thing is that I don't know how in the States this works, but for example, we do here in Romania the baptism and the weddings only on the weekends. So my thing is that I don't want to book my weekend with the baptism, because in our yes, take a wedding because it's more, it's well paid. It's more because they don't in the conception behind is that the baptism is a smaller event, like with smaller people and everything, so the price should be lower, even if the taken by the hour is the same length.
Well, that's what I meant by you put a time limit on your particular package has to have a time limit so that they know what they're getting, and you can set whatever price you want to that, but then anything additional would help make up for it. So if they are doing a baptism, depending on what time it is, if it's in the morning, easily you could do the 2-hour baptism and take an afternoon wedding, right? So it's
Yes.
a matter of how you fashion this offer to make it compelling for you, so it makes you money, and also compelling for them, so it makes it irresistible for them to say, oh my gosh, absolutely, we're going to have Alex back to do the baptism.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes people think, like, oh my gosh, I've got to have Alex here the whole entire time. He's got to capture everything. Not really. What's the most important part? The baby getting baptized, right? It is the most important part.
Yeah.
I think that's what I just want you to rethink your thought process around this. Like, how can I make it work? How can I make money at this and be able to set myself apart from the competition? Because the competition may be saying that they're all these things, but there's going to be gaps. Alex, I know there's going to be gaps in there that you're going to be able to find out and know that, you know what, beyond a shadow of a doubt, here's where I'm different. And you already said it. I'm different of the quality of the photos that I put out. Even though they're saying it, you get to say it differently.
Yes, and it's like, for example, right now I'm just going through the pictures that that I did in the weekend from the last wedding, and I had like a second photographer with me. And for example, from 1,000 pictures, I just selected like 30 pictures from him, and from the same amount of pictures, I selected 300 pictures from me. And well, the thing is that we see each moment different, and this is another thing that the clients just wrote to me back as a testimonial. They said that, well, you just see for example, the moment and how you capture it and the emotions and everything in it, but I never took a print screen from their testimonials and just put it out there so that other clients or potential clients can see it.
Okay.
I didn't do that.
Well, but you get to, I mean, there are certain things for sure that you're going to find you're going to do differently. And that's what I want you to think about. What is it that you do differently, and how can I talk about it in a different way? And you're going to start to train the prospects your way of doing business. That's what I want you to feel like. This is how I do business. And I've built up my quality reputation as a photographer. I get to do it that way. Then they're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm the first one to raise my hand. I want to have Alex as my photographer. Because not only do I know what I think I want, but he actually sees beyond, because you're always looking at the eagle view. And they're down in the weeds. They're down in the forest looking for the little leaves, right? That's why they hire you. Think about it. You're the professional.
You need to take a little time and just sort things a little bit out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we are done with time here. I am gonna next month, there's two things here. We have, well, one is if there is anything we do here, there we go. If you ever want to go further, if you want to do an analysis on your own business and kind of know where is your exact business at, what are the numbers, then feel free. You can always use that QR code. I will put this up every month. You're more than welcome to sit down with me. It's a half an hour. We can look at your strategic roadmap and you can get that printed out for you. But next month, we're going to really hone in on profit boosting secrets. That means, what can I do when the economy is challenging? What kind of things can I do to boost my profit? We have a challenging economy here in the US. I don't know what it's like around everywhere else, but it's very challenging right now. And businesses are feeling the pinch. Like I said, 90% globally are made up of small businesses under $1 million. So you can imagine small businesses are the ones we're getting hit the most. So how do you build and focus on profit without spending a lot of extra money on marketing and advertising? Some of these things you can do without doing that at all. So I hope you had a good time today. Thanks so much for joining me. Sorry for some of the audio and video things. This always happens, but I'm here for it every time. Okay. I appreciate you joining me, and you'll see the replay and you'll also get the worksheet. Okay. Hopefully I'll see you next month. If not, feel free to reach out. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.